Hey, this is Carlos GGS from Guitar God Secrets. Welcome back. I got a quick tip for you today. It's not going to be a lick. It's going to be something that you need to know about picking and playing to be better and faster on guitar. Now, whether you shred or whether you play country or whether you play acoustic or whatever it may be, a lot of guitarists get into a really bad habit. And that really bad habit is they bounce their pick. So when they're picking, and I'm not going to turn up the volume on this, I just want you to see what the motion is like with my right hand. They pick and they pull their hand away from the guitar. And they pull it away from the plane of the strings. The plane of the strings is the flat surface that would be created if all the strings were connected in one sheet here, flat across. Okay? That's the plane of the strings. Their pick comes out of that, away from the guitar, and I'm exaggerating here because you can't, I don't have the perspective camera on for you, but your hand comes out of there and comes back in to pick the next string. So it becomes a bouncy. If you want to play fast, you got to conquer that habit. That's a kind of an affectation that we do as guitarists. Once you get comfortable with something like the pentatonic position or whatever it may be, you start to bounce your pick a little bit because now you've got the freedom and comfort to move. And if you're at a slow speed, that's fine. But what you want to do is always be practicing to play the exact same way slow as you play fast. And vice versa. You play the exact same way fast that you do slow. So you should never be changing your technique just because you're playing slower or vice versa. And you want to stay consistent. And the consistency element that will make you faster is going to be keeping your pick and pushing it through strings without pulling it out of the plane of the strings. And the way to do that really effectively and practice this is also great sweep picking practice, by the way, is just hold your finger or your hand across the strings. You don't want to actually hear notes. And you're going to pick the low E, and then you're going to rest your pick against the next string, the A. And my fingers, or my pick is now against that, and now I'm going to pick and go to the next string, against the D, against that. From there, I'm going to pick straight through to the G, from the G to the B, from the B to the E, and then from the B across and out. Okay, so what I'm doing is, that's faster than you want to do it. You want to start really slow. And notice your tendency to want to pull your pick away from the strings and get it out of that plane of the strings as I was talking about. Don't do it. Stay in there until it becomes second nature. There's this little bouncy thing we do with our fingers like this that isn't good for your playing, and it isn't a good technique to get into the habit of, especially if you want to speed up and if you want to shred, or even if you don't want to shred. You just want to be able to be faster, more effective, and more accurate. It's one of the things I noticed about most of the guys that were making a lot of mistakes is they're pulling their hands away so much that they can't get aligned and reoriented to their strings. So again, it's a very simple exercise, and you want to look at your hand and look and see exactly what it's doing, because you'd be amazed. Even strummers tend to, again, pull their hand away from the strings. Stay in there. And don't let your hand come away. You'll be amazed how frequently it happens when you start to notice and really analyze your right hand technique. And that's very important for playing fast. So there you go. That may not have been the most smoking hot lick you could possibly learn, but that will not only improve the speed and dexterity of your regular playing and picking, whether it's alternate picking or economy picking or whatever it may be, it'll also increase your sweep picking as well, because that's an essential sweep picking technique. Your speed will go up if you pay attention to pushing through the strings instead of plucking and moving your pick away. Okay? The pluck and move away is a technique that a lot of guitarists pick up early on because it's kind of how they're taught, but unfortunately that crimps you and hinders you later on. Now, if you want more great advice like this, more cool tips, more licks, and not so much of me talking, you can also go to that link down there, guitargodsecrets.com. Go over to guitargodsecrets.com, get your free video, the #1 practice hack that will make you better, faster than anything else, because you got to use your time, man. We don't get that much time to practice. You got to maximize it, and you're going to get it. Go on over to guitargodsecrets.com, and I'll see you there. This is Carlos GGS from guitargodsecrets.com. Live to play, play to live. Guitar God Secrets. Guitar dot secrets got God rented mouth.